Hello there, welcome back to the broadcast. Thanks again for joining us. Now there are a couple of ways we can go from here. I was considering going to Blighttown. I actually played a little bit without recording, picked up an item from back in the Undead Asylum where we started the game, began a journey into Blighttown, and fell a couple times to my death, unfortunately. I'm not doing as much damage as I'd like right now, so I think what we're going to do at this point is go to the Darkroot Garden. We'll avoid the Titanite Demon for now and sneak our way in there. Not a terribly difficult area. It has a very, very easy boss. So that'll net us some souls, and hopefully we can level up a little bit, and hopefully that'll be helpful. All we're doing is going back in the direction of the blacksmith at this point. You can't actually block with great swords, it just doesn't do nearly as much as a shield would, so in a pinch, something you can do. That works with the L1 or the L2 button. Unfortunately, I can't parry. Maybe well worth upgrading our Zweihander a couple times as well. I'll go ahead and rest at this bonfire for the time being. I don't believe I have any souls with me, I do not, so... we'll come back and upgrade this sucker. This enemy you're fighting here is a Titanite Demon. They're pretty difficult, they hit really hard, and they're mostly meant to keep you out of areas you're not prepared for, but... and while I could beat them, I mean, I'd rather progress a little bit at this point, so we're just going to walk past them right into the Darkroot Garden. This area's optional. I don't believe you really need to come in here for any particular reason until much later when you're trying to get the Soul of Sif. And you can just flatten these shrub monsters. They don't have a ton of health. They drop some items that are pretty useful for when you're getting ready to go into Blighttown, too. Frequently in Blighttown you're poisoned or you're afflicted with bleed. And they have a very high drop rate of the two things you need to cure those statuses. These are not the tough enemies in this area, although they can overwhelm you. And pay close attention to what we're doing right here, too, as we're walking in. There is one side area to the right that's a wholly separate area. At this point, what we want to be doing... I'll bait this guy back. There is a secret bonfire here to make your life easier. I'll show you exactly where it is. Ooh, nice dodge on his part. Nothing but respect. It's really just too bad it doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things. He's done. Down. Okay. You can see them sometimes in the ground. It's worth two-handing it and just smashing them while they're still laying there. Kind of hard to hit, but yeah, no. One more time. There we are. Yeah, makes that fight pretty easy. Right behind this rock there's going to be an item. You could easily just run past it without even seeing it, but it's there. Another soul. This door you can open by expending 20,000 souls at the blacksmith, but there's another way around it. I don't think I've ever purchased it. I mean, it's just a waste of souls. The wall to the left of it, however, is an invisible wall. Behind it is the bonfire for the Darkroot Garden. So we'll rest there and continue right along our path. Fairly linear so far, hard to get lost. I'm picking up a weapon, or as you walk in here, you'll notice there is, I think it's just a couple healing items in here, but Also, there are 3 of those plant warriors. Best to get them while they're still on the ground, because then they will not all attack you at the same time. There's one. Other right here. Oh, I missed just by a bit. Kind of hard getting the hang of where that is going to sweep. Oh, nope. They will grab you, and that does a ton of damage, but at this point they won't attack you unless you grab that item. Well, that almost killed them outright. So those guys taken care of, you can get your solitary soul there. What's annoying is they are out of the ground next time you come back. They'll all just rush you, so go ahead and traverse the fog gate. This area initially seems confusing. There's not a ton here, believe it or not. Pretty wide expanse. The first thing we're going to do is go directly to the right and attack this tree. It's probably an ant, might be Treebeard, I don't know. He doesn't attack back. You just need to do enough damage to get this out of your way. I'm still finding my stamina bar to be lacking, even though we've invested that heavily in it. New enemy up here too. These guys are real easy. They're frog stingray things. They have some wide sweeping attacks, but they generally go down real quickly. Yeah, nothing to worry about. Drop green blossoms, great for getting your stamina back quickly. But soon I'll be picking up the grass crest shield, which will heal my stamina. Another tree, no point in not getting it out of the way. Again, doesn't really fight back. Unless you're the Lorax, just go ahead and knock it down. Next enemy we're going to run into here, again, we're just sticking along the wall to the right. This area is actually a little bit smaller. It's still a clearing. It's a perfect circle almost, but you'll find the tower on your right. We're going to run into stone giants. Stone giants are difficult for a few reasons. Obviously, they hit really, really hard. You know, they can knock you around pretty good. Other thing they do that's really annoying is cast a move that encumbers you, so you can really only walk at a snail's pace. And your endurance is pretty much nothing, so it's hard to fight them. What you want to do is when they do start casting that miracle, it's real important that you... Yep, he's casting it right now. Yeah, so get some free hits in. Really high resistance to slashing, so now I'm in a ton of trouble. Because I cannot roll, and my shield is not out. Thankfully, we did get the bonfire there, haven't really missed anything. Just go back and grab that and the wolf ring from behind him. Yeah, the trees also do not reappear, so you don't have to worry about hacking away at an inanimate object for some time. Stingray did. Unfortunately for him. Oh, there's our plant friend. Okay, they're done. Might as well pick up the healing items. Always worth it. I'll heal up as well. The stone giants can also drop, and this is nice, they do also drop their armor. Because they seem to be incredibly resistant to slash type weaponry, and because I do not have an enchantment, I'm actually just going to try to get past them to the wolf ring. And you'll notice as you go through here too, you can jump this ledge and get right back to the beginning of this area. Hopefully. Yep, good to go. That giant will wander around aimlessly for a while. I don't believe you can get a backstab on these enemies in particular, which isn't that much of a hindrance. And you'll notice that we're actually right next to the bonfire once more, so we did get the wolf ring out of that, and pretty nice. Ooh, that's probably much better than blue tear stone ring. Boosts our poise, and essentially all that means poise is your resistance to being stun locked. When enemies hit you 2 or 3 times, they'll stop. Your character will have his guard broken. Pretty important that you keep poise high. Also, the wolf ring is the ring of Artorias, so might as well have it equipped. Okay, heading back down once more. We can avoid that giant attacking us this time. It just does, we do no damage with a slashing weapon against that guy. These guys go down quick enough. Would really like to upgrade this Claymore a bit. Or, not the Claymore, this Zweihander. They'd be worth it for me buffing this in fire or something like that. For enemies that are this resistant to slash, for whatever reason. So instead of going up that path this time, we did get the item. We'll go right around the corner here. I think there is another giant. See if we can knock him around. We'll be besieged by weird stingray creatures as well. I don't think he got me with his curse, but I'm not positive. Oh yeah, he does a lot of damage. Yep. Exceptionally horrible when you get hit by that Tranquil Walk of Peace spell. That being said, despite the fact that we were only doing like 30 or 40 damage per hit to him, it took up a good chunk of his health. So it'll probably be our last run through here before we fight the Moonlight Butterfly. It's a remarkably easy boss. Some pretty cool gear up there. The Elite Knight gear has higher physical damage resistance than the gear that I'm using right now, but lower magic resistance, things like that. Make sure I get back to my humanity or my health. There's only a couple items worth noting here too, so nothing back where we started. We'll just go around the circle here. Just avoid that giant and probably end up fighting the stingrays though for extra souls. We haven't really lost anything. We've gotten back to our body both times that we've died in here, so not that big of a deal. Our bodies keep getting stuck on mine. One of them just suicided off the cliff there. Item behind. Soul of a Proud Knight, that's worth a fair bit of souls as well. And I don't believe, yeah, no item on the other side either, so we can safely avoid that giant. That'll be everything in this little section here. Just gotta find that tower, and we're gonna go right back up to where we started. Go over just 2 or 3 more items in this area before we fight the boss. And that'll be a good stopping point for us. Picking up tons of healing items that are going to be useful in Blighttown. Fair amount of souls as well. We'll use that to upgrade some of our weaponry. Now here's where I came down from the bonfire. Instead of going to the right, we're going to make an immediate left. A lot of things that look like items are those glowing plants. So there's really not a lot of items in here. There's only a couple. And you can get the partisan in here, which might be this item. Don't quite remember, but be wary of the snake creature on the tree. They usually die in one hit, but they are there. They'll grab you. Go ahead and turn around to the right-hand side here. After I collect the items, I will be reverting to human form so that we can summon an NPC for the boss. That's actually very important. Another snake on the tree, which is now dead. Snake lizard creature. We'll make another mediocre attempt at fighting a giant, I suppose, here. These things are super annoying. I can't do it. Yeah, he's down to about half health now. And we've staggered him, so... he broke my guard. Enough time for me to heal. Yeah, we're okay. They are predictable. And his curse wore off, so we're actually in pretty good shape here. There he is. Finally got one down. The problem really is when you get more than one at the same time. There's a summon right here, and up that staircase is the boss. So we've just looped around the left half of the map there, just following the wall. I believe there's only one more item in here. You gotta watch out for these plants that are gonna pop out. Right there. And I want to try to knock the plants out before I run into that giant there, because he will attack. And they're not great, as was evidenced by my multiple deaths to them earlier. Oh yeah, he's waking up. Hopefully I'm not pulling the second one as well. Nope, just one. We'll go ahead and try to deal with that then. Ooh yeah, shield blocked. Their shield's pretty cool actually, I like the shield. Very heavy, but still pretty worthwhile. I think we got this guy too. Rewarded, we just need to be patient with him. Yep, stun locked him to death. Okay. This is the Elite Knight set, which is an absolutely great set to use. Solaire set is ultimately going to be a little bit better for us, but all in all, truly a phenomenal set. It's fairly lightweight and has pretty good resistances across the board, so highly recommended for a playthrough. And because we're just going right back to the bonfire, I'm going to take this guy out too for a couple extra souls. Try to knock him out before he can cast that. There we go. Let me get the last one too. May as well at this point, honestly. Oh, nope, maybe not. Too many of these. Not bad though. Pretty good bounty. We got the items. Next thing to do is revert to human form. Ooh, ouch. Big ouch. Getting followed by an army of these. A dead army. Oh, he almost got the hold on me. Okay, pick up your healing items here. Now, I don't think I have enough points to level up, but I would really like to see if I can upgrade my weapon a couple times. I think that would be well worth it. And since we are, you know, right next to the blacksmith, we have just rested. I'm gonna knock that out real quick. Won't really take us any extra time. Glorious purple moss clumps. And even more. Yeah, he's done. That's all the enemies. Blacksmith's right around the corner past the Titanite Demon. This leads to the Darkroot Basin. Okay, that is a separate area. We'd probably be okay in there. I may tackle a little of it next video, we'll have to see. I'm not eager to start Blighttown. That is where you ring the second bell of awakening, but pretty nightmarish place. And I'm not happy with where we're currently at on the playthrough. So we'll sneak past this guy again real quick. And don't worry, we'll be back for him. I'm going to tie up the loose ends. It's rather not inconvenience anybody. We'll try to get through as much of this as we can.
Need any?
Okay. We're using this Y under. +1. We can surely level that a little bit more. +3. Buy 2 more Titanite shards. No, we're out. That's all we can afford right now. I am gonna see if there's a possibility we have enough souls right here. Yeah, that Soul of a Proud Knight, that was pretty hefty. We should have enough to level it a wee bit more. Sorry. Not quite enough for the last. That said, it's quite the improvement. And I feel confident at this point that this will do enough damage to get us through the rest for quite a while until we actually end up getting the Greatsword of Artorias a little bit later. We're going to reverse the effects of hollowing when we get to the bonfire. We'll fight the boss, which is the Moonlight Butterfly. Not terribly intimidating. Problem with it is, as a melee character, I do not currently have any kind of ranged option on this guy, and he's a boss that flies around. So really, we just need to make sure we have the best magic defense shield on that we have to block some of the magic spells it casts. We're going to let the NPC summon do most of the damage here, and wait for it to land, and when it lands, we're going to crush it with this two-handed sword. We're going to use some of our points to level up strength and dexterity next. Alright, Knight Artorias is ready to go. Let's go ahead and take a look at our shields here. So, this has 30 magic defense. The Crest Shield has 80. That's pretty remarkable. Yeah, we'll put it on. I mean, I think that's going to be it. Still get our fast roll with it, but it's pretty remarkable. It should block almost all the damage that the butterfly does, so we'll just need to wait out until it lands. Once it lands, the fight should be pretty much over. I may actually upgrade this. I think we have one large Titanite shard that we picked up, so I may actually upgrade this to +6. We should have enough to buy another couple Titanite shards after the boss here. Walk right by. If you're under the stairs and you are in human form in the bushes, you can summon Witch Beatrice. Highly recommended. She's actually very powerful. She has a number of spells she can use on the Moonlight Butterfly while it's floating around, you know, being a butterfly. Like you do. Now that she's summoned, we'll traverse the white light and we'll get some easy souls. And hopefully I don't die on this, it'd be pretty embarrassing. Yeah, melee characters, I mean, it seems worse than it is because all you're doing is blocking attacks, rolling, trying to avoid things here. I promise you, as soon as it lands, it's a pretty short fight. He doesn't have a lot of HP or defense. Apparently, Witch Beatrice is not even going to enter for whatever reason. Not that big of a deal, though. It'd be nice if she was hitting, but I guess it is what it is. Should be landing fairly shortly. Hopefully. It'd be nice. Well, apparently, Beatrice has been defeated, although she never stepped foot in the boss room. Okay, it's landing. This is where we do our damage. We may have to wait for him to land a second time as well, unfortunately. Yeah. Not ideal. That said, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of the fight. You wait till it lands, you hit it. If Witch Beatrice was here, it'd be a lot easier because she would be constantly damaging him while we were doing this, but it is what it is. The Crest Shield on, pretty easy stuff. Really just doesn't do much damage at all. You also do get in this fight, which is pretty cool. You get a coal for beating this, which you can get to the blacksmith that allows him to make some more unique weapons. He's gotta land soon here. He or she. One more time ought to do it. No, I don't think I've ever actually seen that. Interesting. Barely does any damage with the shield. Pretty great. I've actually have not had much use for the Crest Shield. Not a lot of magic attacks versus fire damage, and I typically use the Grass Crest Shield a ton. What's nice about that Grass Crest Shield is that it heals my stamina, and being a warrior, it's obviously really important for the build. You want to be able to continue your combos. Tagging with a little bit more frequency now. We're just waiting for one final landing. That should do it. He's completely vulnerable while he's sitting there. So that's the Moonlight Butterfly. Easy fight. A little bit longer than I would have liked, but easy fight for sure. And that'll net us a couple souls as well we can use to level up. Nothing else to do up here. All you need to do is walk up to the top. Pick up the coal for the blacksmith. And at this point, this is what we can do at this point in the Darkroot Garden. I'm just gonna homeward bone out back to the bonfire here, upgrade our Zweihander just a wee bit more, and also gain a point in strength. Making sure that we're doing an appropriate amount of damage. Oh yeah, we're one-shotting these guys now at least, so that's good. Shutting them down. Okay, past the Titanite Demon once more. Yeah, we do not do much damage to him, do we? 100 per hit isn't doing it for me. Okay, he's going to ask you for the Ember. Might as well give it to him. It's Divine Ember. Makes your weapon scale with Faith rather than Strength. Purchase 2 more Titanite shards there. And that should be enough to go ahead and take that Zweihander. Level 5. Now past level 5 you actually need to modify it. You'll see it's going to take us 1 large Titanite shard to modify that. Now it's a +6, and we have just enough to bring it all the way up to +7. So that's doing a ton of damage at this point. We still should be able to level as well. Let's see how this is scaling. 100 +7, C bonus from Strength. Bring us up to 25 Strength. I think I may instead put a point in Vitality and increase our health a little bit. I'm happier with that. So that's where we're going to leave off from here. Hope you enjoyed. As always, stick with us. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe and like if any of this was helpful for you. That was Darkroot Garden. We'll see you next time.